Ooh. The best is last. It is a tense game of Go Fish that the evening the rest wraps up with. But she does win.
We're just staring intently at each other as we're like,
do you have any threes? She's got it. She's got it. You know the loss is oncoming.
Yeah. She's like, oh, throws the cards deck again. You got me again.
Yes.
Why are you so good at this?
This one wakes up everyone, though. Ace like, wakes up to the telepathic yes and begins barking out of surprise. So you guys are all doubly awoken.
And then that wakes everyone up.
yeah. Like we're listening to that like really overdramatic thing where like they throw their hands up in the air. It's like kind of.
Yeah, good boy.
I imagine Badger would have shared his name with everyone at some point. Like we would have heard it by now.
I don't know. That's up to Badger. Would you have told everyone about Ace's nearly crescent name?
Yeah, he definitely would have.
Ace, please be quiet.
Mina's still asleep.
Hey, Ace.
Well, I mean,
go get her. Go get her.
Go get her. What? Yeah, I'll get her.
Yeah, get her. Go jump on her.
Oh, I can do that. He runs and leaps onto Mina and lands on her. I'm going to make a Constitution roll for Ace.
She just doesn't even flinch.
Because we're banking on his body mass. I'm sorry. He lands on her, and then she just hugs him and brings him close and just goes deeper into sleep.
You gave her a
I'm trapped! I'm trapped! Help!
Save me, brother, please!
Brother, I am pinned here! No, he doesn't say that.
It should be me, not him.
She just does this to him.
Actually, all of you roll me a perception check.
I can't roll a perception. Are they just straight?
Never mind.
Oh my god!
I don't know if you have guidance to throw it on there to determine later.
We got a 1, a 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Those
Badger
of you that Badger would have a D4. I think you succeed anyways, but we'll just see how successful you are. Roll a D4. Nice. Hey, you made 20.
Flat 20, baby.
Those of you that got 15 or better. Also, I got marked down the nat 1.
Not the boy.
Nice.
No, not his nat 1.
Oh.
Those of you that got 15 or better can hear Mina muttering in her sleep. Well, half sleep, I suppose. But I'm gonna stop. That is the name she gave. But you guys all come to awakenness, doubly so now at the failed attempt. Well, I guess one of you has a blade out, which is fun in a different way, I suppose.
He puts that away once he realizes where he is.
You're in a sanctuary, as weird as it looks. Breakfast will be a bit, for lack of a better word, lacking, since we cannot make fire.
Cold breakfast never hurt anyone.
Why can't you make fire?
We'll blow up.
Spores go boom.
Spores go boom?
Yeah,
if there are
go
too
boom.
many in a small area, or in this case a large area, but a lot of them, they can be very flammable.
Oh. Well, why don't you just say so? She holds out both her hands, and like Moses parting the Red Sea, begins making a small sphere, pushing it out the spores in that location.
Is that at all difficult for you, or is it like just moving through the air?
It takes a lot of focus, but it's not hard.
It is impressive.
Well, I suppose then we do have fire and the one breakfast.
And a depot that is filled with body parts. Unrelated to everything.
What?
So you saw it too.
Over
then.
there.
Yes.
Everyone saw it.
Yeah, I saw it.
Gestures at Irina. I was like, yes, everyone's on it.
I got it
Uh,
out.
Go take a look, see if there's anyone there still doing their thing.
It does seem quiet now.
I think at the mention of the depot, I think Hawk says, "Wait, Duck, you didn't tell anyone else?"
Don't you even start. You shut your mouth.
I forgot to say anything as well.
You too, huh? Unsurprising.
And you too, Hawk, considering you were the first one.
Yeah, and I told Duck.
Did he tell? Looks to Doug.
no, he did not.
That's what I thought.
No.
You did not.
All right. Denver, I need you to make a persuasion check, and then Hawk, I need you to make a deception check. Which one of you can sway the audience more?
Who is Irina helping
Easy
in this
for
case
me.
to give him advantage?
Ooh.
Oh, all right.
I would say no guidance to either of you, because Caradoc technically wouldn't know which one of you is telling the truth or not.
You would know.
Oh, you suck so bad.
Well, audience, the option is
We know the truth.
the option is clear. Hawk
Could've-
as a known
As a
known
known liar.
Someone was a little bit too busy doing, focusing on something else, glaring at him.
He gets close to you and he whispers vitriolically, if that's a word. I let you use
It
my
is.
cards.
Use my cards.
I bid him on purpose. She was back.
Please don't fight. It's my fault. I didn't tell anyone. I just
No,
thought...
it's not your fault.
You're doing fine. It's all his fault.
Everyone immediately goes, "You're doing fine, sweetie. It's fine."
You're doing great. It's his fault.
It's all our fault because you didn't tell him either.
It's his fault.
What we can agree on is that it's a learning experience to perhaps transcribe what you see on a watch and to communicate to other people.
I did that last time.
You got kids, Jin?
Those of you with a passive perception of 13 or higher would spot Eva helping Fayez and the two of them giving each other a knowing look and then silently chuckling to themselves. For one insight.
I'm busy asking Jin if he has kids.
No, why would I? Why would you think that?
Because
He's
you sound like a dad.
20 something.
Sorry, wrong.
Yeah, good advice can come from any age and from any demographic.
No. Shakes her head, walks away.
Do these insight rolls, you do not understand what they're chuckling about, aside from your own personal assumptions as players.
Gotcha.
Damn.
Well,
They both know a very funny joke, and they aren't telling us.
They don't want to share it? What the fuck?
Mina
They'll
does
rocket
begin
they had.
waking up, holding Ace, very much like an anime character would hold a dog, with him tucked, again, like pressed against her chest, her cradling him in one arm, his little feetsies poking up over the edge of her arm.
Just little bubbles popping next to her head.
Exactly.
I should probably help him.
No. Let her.
We be good to set out.
We're eating something first.
Thou does not look fit to set out. I can be ready in less than a minute, sis. Don't worry. Let's eat breakfast first. Okay. Will you all be shouting about and telling each other things or not? You're waking me up.
It's time to wake up, so that's good.
There was a depot that a series of zombies were collecting body parts and taking them overnight.
She
Hold
stops
on,
rubbing her
sounds
eye
of
at that. So we gotta go take them out, yeah?
They're not there anymore. They're
Yeah, that's
They
what I'm
sleep?
inside.
She's thinking to herself.
Debate if
Do
striking now is the best or worst time.
I do not think we're in much position to fight an unknown entity.
Correct.
Especially ones that look and behave the way those ones do. They're not like the ones that they're not like the ones that we saw originally, right? That we were fighting. Stupid
No.
ones that
No,
couldn't
they're the
jump like
speed ones.
crazy.
No.
They're
These
different
ones
tier.
are a little bit shorter, probably 20% of the biomass,
Yeah.
but in inverse
Super efficient.
proportionality are also probably that much faster, maybe more so.
These ones aren't like the ones that we already fought. I imagine it'd be a lot harder to take one of those ones out.
Yeah,
A lot
considering
stupider to
how
do
many
so.
were. There's a lot coming and going as well, so it'd be outnumbered.
Fine. She looks down at Ace, who's still stuck in her grasp. When you be getting that little guy? Help!
He tried to wake you up.
Oh,
He's asking for help. You might want to.
she holds him out like Simba style, except facing her. You'll be a brave one trying to wake me up, huh? She shakes him up and down like gently. Brave one, little brave one. Help! Help! Help!
They say dogs take after their masters, waking up people they shouldn't.
I didn't mean to wake you up.
Well, you did. You almost got stuck.
I'm sorry.
It is a generous donation you give us, Badger.
I was
yes,
trying to avoid
thank you.
this kind of interaction, but you're welcome.
Let us spare, Badger, the embarrassment then. Come, breakfast is ready.
God.
Important question. What do you make?
Well, let's see. What can you make in rations? I actually did a lot of research on rations. Fun fact: Lewis and Clark very much valued their flour, like
I mean,
because they were constantly hunting and eating meat every day. So their flour actually became the most scarce resource for them. So that's a fun fact.
Alright.
I don't know if it would probably be a relatively similar case in this setting. It's far easier to find things to hunt as opposed to a field to harvest and process and stuff like that. But that being said, you guys probably have some. Let's see. These are probably the rations you guys got from the dead man. Just makes perfect sense. So this would probably be pretty relatively good quality meat versus the dried meats that you guys are more often familiar with. Flour, biscuits, stuff like American biscuits, not British biscuits.
Wherever the British got.
So probably be meat, American biscuits and gravy, because gravy you can make from the meat's juices and stuff like that. Yeah. So biscuits and gravy, meats, and because you guys are in a place that's being annexed by the inventory, biscottis and coffee.
I mean, that sounds like a damn good breakfast. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
No, I would agree. Like,
Good
Fias is a chefy for a fucking reason.
Yeah, Ruma is just very happily downing that.
Based on
herself.
nice events, Denver takes a little bit more than she normally would.
Let's see. Fias with the kiss the cook apron on. Can you roll me a performance?
Oh, alright. Performance. Nice! Hey, yeah!
Undetected, undiscerned. Very good. Alright, let me just record that at 20 down. But from the looks of it, you guys are good to go. You guys can benefit from a long rest, so on and so forth.
Whoops, that's all caps.
No, I like she's just bulking in all caps. I think that fits very, very well.
She's
Very
getting
well. That's your second nat 20. No nat ones. Nice.
Fuck yeah!
You have a
2 to 0?
you have a pound sign div/0 exclamation point ratio. Good job.
I know what that means.
Just a
Deceptive
little.
thumbs up.
just a little exo humor from the financial analyst. Don't worry about
Thanks, man.
it. The divide by 0. So,
broken.
you guys are ready to set out, man?
We can mark a long rest, I imagine.
Yes.
Before we set out, one thing I meant to ask in the night, and I think it's appropriate that Denver would think of it when doing her concoctions and trying to find the long rest button. There it is. She would ask, what's her name? Irina, if like what's the deal with her mushrooms? So
He's like, what's up?
In what regard?
she does have mushrooms all over her, right? What do they look like again?
They look like this.
And am I able to identify any of them? Do they look at all familiar?
Raw nature.
Can do. 1 second. Nature. The fuck is... There it is. Nice.
They're not from your neck of the woods, literally.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem familiar to you. In fact, they sort of defy a lot of fundamentals from your homeland.
Oh. In what way, if that makes sense? Like, what fundamentals?
I just had to describe this in a way from your wisdom as alchemy and stuff like that. How to say? Okay. There's a certain life cycle of mushrooms. They obviously start as spores, they progress, dig their roots into the earth, develop their network, then they have a pin, which is why this is called a shamble pin plague, because the pin is where is the top of the mushroom when it first pokes up out of the ground. Then it becomes a full mushroom when the shaft of it pokes out of the ground, and then you can harvest it and so on. Her mushrooms are skipping a fundamental step. They're not developed into the ground. They don't have that network. And looking at her, at least the visceral parts of her that are visible, they don't seem to be doing that to her either.
And I think Denver would definitely like mention interest, not and try and like. I'll just do it in character. Would you mind if I, before we head out, take a closer look at your mushrooms?
I don't mind. Why?
Mushrooms.
They're interesting, and she'll take a closer look and start noticing these things.
Thank you. She looks out at the ground.
Need a hand duck or?
Nah, I think I'm alright.
You guys can hear Mina whisper to Eva. Did the fucking mushroom lady just blush?
There's not blood.
That's exactly what Eva says. I don't believe that, Mina. I don't think she have if the blood circulation to do so. It'd be looking like that to me, and she walks away.
Maybe it's just the spores that are red.
I haven't seen any mushrooms like this. Not in the way that they're growing. It's... She's about to say weird. Stops. Interesting. Remembering that Irina, displays emotion, so probably has feelings.
No, she's undead. Boyer.
It's weird.
You're a freak. You're a freak of nature. We're gonna stun you.
She doesn't necessarily say it as a bad thing, but she does say weird.
P.T. Barnum shows up. I have a place for you. So, what do you do in order to examine? Do you collect samples? Do you just get really close?
I was gonna. That's the next progression. Is would you mind if I try to collect some samples? I don't think it would hurt, but I can't guarantee it won't for at least a second.
She looks away from you and over at everyone else.
This is, in a way, your body, so it's kind of your choice on that one.
I'd like to see if there's anything I can do with your mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Holds up a concoction. I make things.
It might be valuable insight on the rest of the plague.
And the potions and such have been very helpful to us so far.
Would the mushrooms fall off on their own accord, perhaps, though? Could we collect one of those? Would it be the same, though, if they're at the end of life?
The best ingredients are fresh from the source, in my experience.
Jim
Okay.
didn't see any mushrooms, like, close to hers around when he was looking about, right?
No.
No. He would make that note of just like, hers are very unique, at least in this area. I haven't seen any others around.
She rubs her upper arm. Okay. Make it quick, please.
Of course.
Looks good.
And
Gentle hands, you'll be fine.
I do so. I make quick work of getting. I'd like to see if I could get as many samples as possible from in one swoop, so I don't have to. Because I imagine I'm cutting the stems.
Probably.
So if there's like a little cluster,
Does Irina display any signs of pain?
You have roll your herbalism kit, Denver.
okie dokie.
One of the most fair uses of it. Rare as they are.
What attribute?
Dex.
Dexterity. Nice.
That's hella good.
She does seem to show signs of pain. She can feel pain, which is a very distinct. Mina mentioned such. Quirking an eyebrow at the display. Either she be good at lying or she be feeling pain. Is that surprising? The dead don't feel pain, bruv. Well, mayhaps she's not as dead as thou would like. Mina just glacially turns to look at Eva, who has this a polite shit-eating grin, to use corporate terms. If you weren't you, I'd be punching you right now. I appreciate the hesitation. So, you collect some samples, a little bundle of them.
Thank you.
No problem.
And then I do my best to. I don't imagine it's bleeding or anything, but I like pat the spot very gently.
It actually does bleed.
Oh shit! In that case, I make an effort to stop
Well, bleed.
it.
It doesn't. It's not bleeding like you and I bleed. It bleeds in the same way a sponge gets wet. So it doesn't drip or anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like if you cut off a dandelion head,
Exactly.
right? The milk gathers at the top.
Yeah. Maybe given time and enough cutting, it might drip. Again, like putting a sponge in water, but aside from that, no.
But I'm able to collect some of that too.
Do you?
I do.
Roll me alchemist supply.
Can do. Alchemist Dex?
Yeah.
Even better.
You collect
your
a
element.
small vial of this blood that she gives off.
Yeah, I think seeing Duck do that, I would like to walk over and try to dress her, not really wounds, but you know what I mean. He says, "Hell, Duck, she's not one of your freak science experiments.
I'm just collecting samples like I said I would.
You said you were gonna collect the mushrooms.
And
Look,
I
you made her
didn't know that they
bleed.
bled.
It's okay.
Then deal with it.
Something is happening to that vial of blood very immediately.
Oh.
It begins
Can you tell it?
crystallizing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, crystallizing might not be the best word. It begins hardening.
Okay.
It begins taking on a similar appearance as the more visceral internals of Irina.
Oh.
You
And-
begin seeing it now. If you guys were to poke her fleshy bits, they probably wouldn't be so fleshy.
So she has a mean right hook, is what I'm hearing.
You could notice how creepier with that laugh.
I love my women hard.
it's just funny wording is all.
Yeah.
You're not quite sure. This is a different type of alchemy. You'd have to find Well, maybe some people in the party might know. It'd be more intellectual based alchemy and to know the chemical process behind it.
Does it progress so fast that if I guess I should ask, is this before I like cork the vial or even after?
It's after.
Okay.
And in dressing her wounds, Hawk, you can feel that that exposed part does begin to harden as well. It reminds you very similarly of your the passageway into the basement. There are mushrooms there, but they're very hard exteriored.
Oh, okay.
Right, so like when you poke a mushroom, you're probably anticipating it being like a dry sponge, but those ones would be like tapping a ceramic plate. You know, just different material.
Some of these sons of bitches are gonna be hard as hell, aren't they?
You guys have heard during the quarantine, yeah, those Vanguard ones, the ones that are more resistant to fire, are also harder to hit.
Right.
Or I guess easier to hit, harder to hurt.
Because they're just, well, to put it bluntly, they have natural armor of hardened mushrooms.
Yep.
Is it crystallized like sugar? Or...
That's a good way of visualizing it, I think. So,
This is odd.
she doesn't suffer immense damage, which is to say, roll me a d4. Denver.
Right.
The equivalent of a dagger.
Get a 4. No! He started square in the head. Just. I need the deeper mushrooms.